Welcome back, everyone, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues, and we've got some more action for you guys coming this way as we are so deep into playoffs now. So many things on the line. Every match from here on out is sure to be a banger, and I'm joined by my co-host, good friend, and former squad mate onto that Ascension roster. What's going on, Jaegers? How you doing?
I am doing fantastic, Merely. I'm ready for some goated Challenger League action. And honestly, I'm ready for my eyes to be glued to the screen for the rest of tonight because we have some banger matchups coming up.
Yeah, we absolutely do. We're starting off things strong here with Snowstorm and Venom. I think a lot of people could conclude that this might be one of the matchups of the night, as both these teams are looking super hot. A little bit of antics though, slow in our roll here though, Jaegers.
Yeah, just a bit. So, Austin, I'm sorry, I might get in trouble for this. I'm gonna have to leak it. But earlier, I was confused about the script saying that Venom was winning. Uh, and you know, script could be wrong here, Austin, but we just received word that Fate has been banned from Rocket League and he will not be able to participate tonight. And a lot of people saying Fate is a crucial part of that Snowstorm squad.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with that assessment. We've seen them on the field a lot of the times. Fate is that scorer for Snowstorm. A lot of the times, he's the one there for the shots, and even on defense, sometimes coming in clutch. He's got to be considered a big reason why Snowstorm has seen so much success during the season, and not having him here will be a huge blow. Also, would like to mention that I got baited into accepting a bet by Jaegers before I learned that Fate had been banned, but I still have faith in Snowstorm to pull out this win. So, uh, Jaegers, I know that might definitely seem like Snowstorm is gonna be a little bit weaker, but I mean we should still have a close matchup here.
Oh, most definitely. I'm really looking forward to it. And to be fair, I did make the bet and then I gave him the chance to take it back just because I felt bad. But we do have
But
a
I am a
fifty
man of
dollar
my word.
merely as a man of his word. So we have a $50 bet riding on this game. And honestly, I could see this one going either way. Merely, I know Cram's 1600, and the battle of the Scots locals, no slouch himself. I know I'm supposed to give my prediction, but I say we both give our predictions. I know what we're going to say, but what game you think it's going to, Merely?
That's a tough question. I think it will go to at least 6 games, but I'll go ahead and say 7 games. I hope we have a good series on our hands. And it's not the only thing on our hands is our bet. That's not the only thing on the line. If you could pull up the bracket prediction there, we can see there. This is the semifinal matchup. So the winner of this game will be headed to the grand finals. And, whoever wins this series is going to be feeling pretty good about being that first team to be in the grand finals. And for Venom as well, that would be a familiar position as they made it to grand finals and even ended up winning grand finals in the last season. So definitely a familiar spot there. Would you agree with that 7 game assessment, Jaegers?
Absolutely. I think it's going to seven all the way. And back on Venom, they had a bit of a Cinderella story last season, being the eighth seed, knocking out the number one seed Ascension in the first round and cruising from there. But this Snowstorm team, like they had what many consider to be the best series this playoffs had yet to offer. In the Tigers Snowstorm match, a lot of people saying that should have been the grand finals, and pretty much everyone's saying Snowstorm had an easy ride to the championship, and it's up to Venom to shut the doubters up.
And we'll see if they can do that. We've already gotten your prediction. We know who you're going for. We could pull up that prediction from the community real quick. And they do not agree with you, but once again, the community had no way of knowing that Fate was going to get banned. So I feel like this might be a lot closer of a vote if that information was at their disposal when they voted. But either way, Snowstorm versus Venom, only one team can move on. One team will be going home, and let's see who it is as we get right into this first one. Off the kickoff, an interesting double kickoff strategy actually there from Snowstorm. I'm not sure if that was communicated or if it was a little bit of a mistake from the offense there, but regardless, did get a quick look at offense, but sent back into their own zone. Grav not able to make a touch on this one. Kaysen sending it towards the net and trying to follow it, getting very aggressive in the opening seconds. This one's going to be sent center. Could be a shot opportunity, but Local sends it just a bit high. Crossbar playing a bit of defense there. Now the ball will be sent back into Snowstorm's half. One player jumps from Venom, but dealt with effectively by Ezreal. And the ball will be sent right back into that Venom zone. Local looking for a touch. Gets the pass middle. Kaysen there for the shot. And that one was surely going to be a banger if the defender was not able to block it. Great defense on Venom's part so far. And both teams already looking threatening, but this one might just end up going in. Grav has to rush back. Going to be awkward still. Am swooping in to bail out his teammates. And right now, both teams, it seems like, getting a lot of offense. As Cram coming through, getting it through, but Azrael on the goal line, the follow-up save, and Kaysen will not let that ball through. Oh my goodness.
What a defensive stand by Snowstorm earlier on in this game. What, just Azrael so far showing up in Fate's absence. But I will say this, Mealy, we're kind of bagging Snowstorm, but Azrael's their highest MMR player, so there might not be as much of a drop-off as we previously thought.
Yeah, that's something interesting to know. I mean, we're just so used to seeing Local, Kaysen, and Fate on the field that we consider them the main roster, but with Ezreal being up there in MMR, and obviously it seems so far at least that he has a skill to match that, there might not actually be too much of an indifference between the players. Obviously, the other team does probably have more chemistry, but if he can pull off and try to make plays happen, I mean, he can definitely keep Snowstorm in this one. And so far, Snowstorm looking very solid as Milk trying to get this one middle. Will get it middle and Cram through with the bounce shot. Sends it home. Venom strikes first.
What a passing play between Milk and Cram. Already the Venom chemistry showing up. And a little bit of misplay on the Snowstorm defense. Ezreal and another defender running into each other. Excuse me. Could show those chemistry issues coming to light early on in this game one.
Yeah, and I don't want to spend too much time pointing out the mistakes of a player who's been forced to come in here quickly, as Cram's going to get another one. But it did look like Azrael on that last play was in no man's land, and this time it's Local who's just unable to make the touch.
And I mean, so far Venom have showed up to play. Earlier, Cram was streaming. I popped in to check out his stream. He was playing C-ranked 6-mans and popping off in there as well. So he came ready to play, and really it's up to Snowstorm to match the intensity that Venom has showed up with.
And so far they have not been able to. They have had a few looks on the Venom net, but not really much to come from it, as we do have Milk seems to have gone AFK. I'm not sure if that's a connection issue. It doesn't seem to be, as Kaysen with the banger. I mean, that was a beautiful shot. I don't want it to be discounted at all by the fact that we have one of our players not playing, but you have to wonder what's happening there.
And Milk has lost connection. Not sure what the ruling on this is, Austin, but Cram says no problem. Yep.
So it looks like we will be playing on. Venom has the opportunity to call for a reset here, but looks like either they aren't aware that they have this resource, or maybe they just want to try and keep playing with the advantage that they've managed to accrue in the opening minutes. But right now, Snowstorm will have a little bit of an advantage, as that one almost goes past Cram and Grav there, and that shot's going to go in. They don't even need a reset. They're just going to 2v3 Snowstorm by themselves.
3v3, 2v3, it does not matter, as Venom goes up 2 goals in this game 1 against Snowstorm.
And, well, I mean, you saw it right there. Snowstorm just couldn't get anyone back. And Venom now actually adding onto their lead.
Oh, wait.
Milk still nowhere to be found. Hopefully he is restarting his connection or figuring out whatever issue went wrong. As, you know, they might be able to 2v3 for a little bit, but you have to think eventually Snowstorm's going to be able to adapt and take advantage of this extra player. Here comes Ezreal passing this one center. No one there for the follow-up, though. Kaysen will get a nice touch, looking for the follow-up. Opts to go for the ground play. Fakes it again, but won't be able to get it past Cram. Even with 0 boost, staying patient on the goal line. Recognizing that there isn't too much danger. Snowstorm, you know, they have this extra player, but they're really not using him at all. Actually, it'll be Ezreal by himself getting past both of them, and Snowstorm now within 1.
Who needs the rest of your team when you have solo plays like that, faking out both the Venom defenders, and Ezreal putting on a clinic with that goal, and this is looking a lot more doable for Snowstorm, as weird as that sounds to say right now.
And it does seem strange that in a 2v3, the two-player team is actually looking like the ones in control of the matchup. But, you know, sometimes if you can't use that third man effectively... Oh, never mind. All right, Local's going to come in here, and now the third man presence will be felt very strongly as Snowstorm ties it up.
Oh, the thing about 2v3s merely is you don't want to double commit. Double committing in 3v3s are bad, but, I mean, double committing in a 2v3, that's a death sentence right there.
Yeah, there's not really going to be too much you can do when you double commit on a 2v3, and even further than that, it doesn't necessarily take a mistake to have opportunities like that arise in a 2v3. I mean, if you're even just forced to make 2 saves in quick succession and draw out both players, and then the net can be let open like we saw there. But Venom, you know, they've done a pretty good job so far. They have gotten a goal while in this 2v3. If they can manage to get one more, you know, the game might not be entirely over. But Kaysen looking for the pass, gets it down. And what a pass. Local gonna clean that one up quickly.
And just what a passing play between Local and Kaysen. Nice little 1-2 drop down from Kaysen, and Snowstorm gonna steal this one away from Venom, barring any late game antics.
And it really does feel like it was stolen. I mean, Milk has been gone for more than a minute and a half. Maybe even more if you add in the time where he was just motionless on the field. But they didn't do too badly in the 2v3. But, you know, it doesn't take too much knowledge of analysis to know that they're going to need this third player if they want to take a victory here.
Oh, absolutely. It's just really disappointing if you're Venom. I know it's game 1. They looked so good, and then Milk just disconnected, and pretty much the game was all but lost for them at that point.
And Milk still isn't back. Cram does say that he is coming back, but there is a 7-minute timer. If that information is accurate, then surely Milk will be back in here soon. But, you know, I don't mean to call out the org, but why is it that players always disconnect against Sub-Zero teams?
Yeah,
out here.
You know, they're out here doxing people, putting on the Wi-Fi switch or something. You know, but look, it's working for them, and you know, merely without that 2v3, I don't know if Snowstorm wins that game 1.
No, to be perfectly honest, it looked like Venom had almost complete control of the match. I mean, they had already gone up 2-0 at that point, I believe. Snowstorm scored their first goal while Milk was motionless, so you have to think that if Milk was in play, that goal might have never even happened. Even though I will give a lot of credit to Snowstorm for that first goal. That was a really good redirect by Kaysen there. But, you know, Venom, they have to try and remember the spot that they were at when this game concluded. Well, when the game concluded for Milk, because they were in a really good position, and they can't afford to let Snowstorm take back this momentum. They have to try and come out swinging once again.
Absolutely. Venom really just needs to play the way they were playing before. And it looks like they might have a quick start here as they start to get some pressure. But no quick goals here.
And in fact, it'll be the other side of things. Ezreal coming through a huge bump there, I think it was, and the net's opened up for Ezreal to shoot it home.
Oh yeah, Crim dies for it, almost gets there, but Kaysen just gonna come and bump him out the way, leaving a shooting lane open for Ezreal. And this snowstorm momentum is snowballing fast.
Yeah, and you know, it really feels like Venom should be the ones with this momentum, but there is no proof that Snowstorm wouldn't have come back in that first game regardless. We do know that they're a team that can battle down from adversity as this one and through, and the follow-up shot actually turns into a pass from Ezreal. Almost an opportunity again there from Snowstorm
Ooh.
in the same exact position actually that the first shot was shot from. This time it will be off the crossbar as Locals not quite able to make that touch. Grav gonna send this one back. Venom trying to get some offense going, trying to make something happen.
Oh,
So far, well, okay, never mind. I was about to say something completely incorrect as Milk, taking a little bit of revenge for his DC, gets the first goal for Venom.
no, right whenever you said there's no offense thus far, I saw the miss by Israel, and that ball was wide open, no defender left in sight, and Venom is going to take advantage of that and equalize this game too.
And now Venom will be back in it once again. Equal scoreline, but that might be about to change. The shot wide from Snowstorm. That one sent middle, but a little bit dangerous. Counterattack opportunity for Venom as Milk and Cram both jump for this ball. And that will give Snowstorm the actual counterattack and almost to the net fast enough, but Cram gets there just in time. Here comes Kaysen looking for the air dribble. Won't be able to find it. This ball sent center once again, but Milk down. Kaysen clearing it back. Ball sent at the Venom net once again. You know, Venom did get that one goal, but it was kind of off of a huge mistake from Snowstorm. Other than that, it feels like they haven't really been able to find much to counter Snowstorm's offense here.
Not really. It didn't look good, but that one goal could just be enough momentum for them to start a counterattack. And so far, they've met every match that Snowstorm has thrown at them.
And so far they have, but they're going to have to do it a little bit longer as Kaysen not quite able to get that ball on target. Still dangerous, so is Kaysen sending it through. There's no one back. Milk has to rush back and barely makes it there just in time. Ezreal will send this ball on target. Local can't get the follow-up shot. And Venom once again will have an opportunity for a counterattack. Snowstorm
Oh,
did
what a
push up,
shot!
and Milk with the shot coming through, getting his second of the game.
What a shot by Milk. I could have sworn that was defended, but Milk with the nice little ground double tap is going to put Venom up 2-1.
And that's some really good confidence there from Milk to go for that one. You could see Ezreal trying to get a touch on that. And if he does get a touch, you know, the ball gets cleared and the play continues. But if he doesn't get a touch, Milk recognized that he had the shot opportunity, had confidence in himself to score it. And in fact, the miss does come out. Milk going to put a second one on the board. And now it's Venom in control, but that one's just going to linger in. And the defense of Venom caught out of position.
Kaysen only really having to put a shot on target, reading the touch by Grav, and neither Milk or Cram looked ready for that one.
And in fact, they definitely were not. You know, sometimes, especially with a team like Snowstorm, where so many shots are coming at your net all the time, if you just let your guard down for even a second, it can give an opportunity for a ball to go in that maybe shouldn't have most of the times. Have to be aware of all threats if you're Venom here. As Ezreal trying to make a threat of his own happen. Won't be able to get much going with it. And now Milk with the flick gets it past one, tries to get it past Kaysen, but Kaysen just fast enough to 50 that one away. Grav getting it past one again. Here comes Venom with another quick counter attack, trying to get this one through. That one's going to be on target, and what a shot from Cram, finding the angle. The defense cannot get there.
What an angle by Cram, and I was kind of confused there. Grav and Cram seemed on top of each other, and I was gonna comment on that, but it ended up working as Grav went for the bump, not necessarily needed, and Venom is sticking with this lead.
Yep. Cram and Grav, or Graham and Crav, that's a confusing duo of players to say, but
Yeah.
regardless, they get the job done, and now Venom in the lead once again. Local looking for the shot though. Cram going to be able to get the save, but it's still a little bit dangerous. And just to get a bump on the offender there. This one will be sent through. Cram finding a little bit of space, getting it clear. Actually baits in one attacker. Now it's a 2v1. Ezreal bursts to the ball and deals with it well. Great play as third man. Milk looking for the double touch, looking for that hat trick. Won't quite find it yet. Still plenty
Oh,
of time. That one's going to go low. Payson expected a high shot, maybe something off the backboard, but Grab wisely shoots it low.
that was very smooth of Graf to hit it down. You see Kaysen went up expecting a high shot, maybe off the backboard, and Graf just putting it where he is, and this lead is extending for Venom.
Now they must be feeling much more comfortable, and you know, it looks like we're back to game one here, Jaegers. I mean, Venom with 2-goal lead, and even though things have been a little bit shaky at times, they've still maintained control for the majority of the game, and they've done the better of Snowstorm's attacks while dealing with their offense exceptionally well.
Oh, what a pass! And I mean, Venom almost getting another one there, but if...
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait. Oh, that could have been a fifth goal for Venom. But Snowstorm needs to get their defense figured out as Venom is just putting on a masterclass on how to shoot right now. And I can't help but hold my breath here as every time I talk, I feel like a ball is going to go in the back of the net nearly.
And it really feels that way. It looks like the ball is just on a direct course for each net as the game progresses, but Venom gonna be able to come out on top with this one. And you know, like you said, their shooting just seems a little bit better than Snowstorm's. They didn't even have as many shots as Snowstorm there. You can see it was 10-8. And even earlier in the game, I remember looking at the scoreboard, and I believe Venom only had 4 shots and 3 goals, or 5 shots and 3 goals.
Yeah.
So Venom's shooting just seems a bit more crisp, and also their defense. I mean, they're defending well against Snowstorm. Snowstorm's had their moments, but Venom's been the team that's been able to break through.
I mean, Cram has 5 saves merely. The man, the man is popping off, and he's just playing so well. He wants this finals match.
And you could tell that all of Venom wants it. They want to go back to where they were last season, and they're looking to take it all once again. This would be a huge upset, even with the absence of Fate. You know, Local and Kaysen still 2 of the top tier challenger players, and Ezreal as well. You know, I feel like he hasn't been playing poorly at all. He seems to be fitting into this roster. There's some awkward moments on defense at times, but other than that, he's been creating goals for Snowstorm, making things happen. You have to wonder here, Jaegers, what is it that Snowstorm needs to do to try and work through either these chemistry issues or find more success, especially on defense?
I mean, just it's really tough whenever you insert a new third into the offense and defense, but really you just need to communicate. Say whenever you're going, when you're going, and just better communication will be able to, as Craig gets a double tap there, putting an early lead for Venom. And communication issues right there. Neither Local or Kaysen know whether to go for it, both going for it, and neither getting it, as Venom are going to go up 1-0.
And Venom just seems completely unperturbed by the loss of the first game due to that disconnect. Most teams, you know, they'd be feeling a little bit frustrated after that, but Venom has risen to the challenge, and since going down 1-0, has looked like they have retained control in the series thus far. Cram with the insane double touch. That is why you cannot let this man have space, but the huge bump coming out on Snowstorm's side of things, and they answer back.
Oh my goodness, what a bump by Kaysen. Cram going up for the ball and just gets immediately blindsided. And Local, the midfield predator, is just going to put that one in for the quick equalizer.
And, you know, you can get annoyed by bumps. You could say, oh, he just bumped me. That's not a good goal. But that was such a smart bump to go for there on Snowstorm's side of things. Just completely leaves the net open. And, you know, it's not the prettiest finish, but how they got there, certainly impressive. And now Snowstorm with the equal footing. Just going to have to try and find a way to equalize. Have to try to find a way to gain advantage, I should say, in this series, as even though they did win that first game, you know, it really felt like it was all because of that disconnect. It really didn't feel like Snowstorm rose to the challenge.
No, it's really disappointing because Snowstorm is a really good team if they have their full roster, and No offense to Ezreal, he's playing well, but it's just rotation issues. You're not used to playing with a certain player, and it's one thing if you have a whole new team, but if you're used to playing with one guy and the other guy's completely different, it throws everything off. And it was one big reason why Origin last season had trouble. Me and Lightning were used to playing with each other, and then we threw Magic in, and it took us what 8 games, pretty much the whole season to figure it out.
Yeah, that's something that can never be noted enough. I mean, chemistry is one of the most important elements of this game, especially in a competitive setting like this. Even in ranked, you guys know you play better with your set team than with solo queue teammates. I mean, I see you guys molding in hub.
Absolutely.
But either way, the game is not over yet. The series is not over yet. This one game buffer that Snowstorm's been able to get, if they can build on it, might end up being a saving grace for them. If they can figure out how to work with Ezreal and make this team function at its full potential. Right now, we do have an equal scoreline. One more goal could swing the game in Snowstorm's favor. They're going to have to work hard to get this ball sent over. Kaysen trying to get the clear out. Grab will be there for the follow-up, though. Tries to pass, but no one middle that time. The ball will be sent back. Demo hunting on the offense, and Snowstorm, local, coming through with the shot. Once again, not quite able to find the touch. It's a little bit inaccurate hitting that crossbar, but local on the counterattack again misses the shot, and you really feel like that was a big opportunity that Snowstorm can't afford to let up. They might get one more, though, as Milk just barely makes the touch and comes through. But really, I mean, we can talk about the rotations and we can talk about how this third man, is making things difficult. But on the other end of thing, Snowstorm, they're just not being that accurate right now.
No, really. I mean, they're using bumps to open up the field, but they're not making anything of it. And right now, they only have 3 shots. 2 of those are misses, and the one that they hit was from that bump play from Kaysen. So they need to figure out something on offense, somehow find a way to get more accurate. I don't know what they could do right now, merely.
I mean, it just seems like maybe they need to take a little bit more time or place those shots more wisely, because right now, shots that they are throwing on net, well, actually, they're not being thrown on net, which is the main problem. And Cram going to come through here, might be able to get one more, but the shot lacks a lot of power. Snowstorm, even though they are having a little bit of difficulty on the defense, we get that one through. Kaysen, Israel? Oh my goodness, he was off the ceiling. I mean, that's not the play they need. They need to just get some solid plays, but if they were able to pull that one off, surely would have been impressive.
It wasn't the play they need, but that would have certainly looked cool, merely.
It would have been a play that they would have been very happy to get. But now heading into the 10 seconds, only a limited amount of time back, and local Ezreal trying to pass to local. Kaysen looking for local this time, and no one can get the pass across. The ball will be set down, and Venom will take a second game in a row. I feel like it might have been 3 if Snowstorm didn't get that first one, and now, I mean, Jaegers, really, what is it that Snowstorm needs to fix in order to try to find their way back into this matchup?
Well, they need to start taking shots for one thing. They've only had 5 shots in that whole game, and Venom only having 7 shots themselves, but they put more on target. But Snowstorm, I think what Kaysen did really worked out, and they just need to go for more bumps. And I think that's what's working for them, because they score whenever they bump the defense. And whenever they don't, whenever it's not an open net, they're not hitting their goals.
Yeah, those demos and bumps have been crucial to at least opening up space and creating opportunities where a shot can be made, but the finish has been lacking in a few cases. Like you pointed out, the only one that went in was that one shot that was completely open that, I mean, well, pretty much you expect that ball to go in the net 100% of the time, but even some of these other shots that Snowstorm were taking were high percentage shots that just went a tiny bit wide, and I have to be a bit more accurate. But on Venom's side of things, I mean, They are playing beautifully right now. Their rotations look crisp and they look like they are communicating well and they seem to be hitting every shot perfectly. I mean, everything is going right for them on the other hand of things, Jaegers.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said earlier, if they weren't uh thrown into that 2v3, they definitely could have won that game one and we're primed to do so. Instead it's a 2-1 where Snowstorm still has life and they still have life even if it's a 3-0, but it just looks a lot more difficult. And Snowstorm, it's weird to say merely because Snowstorm's the 1 seed. They're supposed to be blowing everyone out. But this mistimed substitution is really throwing everything off for them.
Yeah, and it really has to come down to the fact that it happened kind of at the last second. I mean, I don't think it literally happened at the last second. We probably found out about it at the last second.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it did happen today that unfortunately Fate was unable to play. And because of that, Israel has to step in here. And so far, once again, it's hard to say that he's playing poorly. It just seems like the
Oh yeah.
entire team has been affected by this loss of their main player who has played the entire season with them and won't be here for the semifinals, which is truly unfortunate. Still, Snowstorm not out of this by any means, only down 1-2. If they can get a game here, going to be much more doable. They do not want to be sent home, and surely they will give it their all as this one in the midfield. A little bit of awkward play to start the game off here. Seen plenty before, but Milk coming
Oh,
through with a shot, gets it past, and he's just faster. Venom already building on their already worked up lead.
no, Venom looked really awkward too. Venom players bumping into each other on the Snowstorm side, but Milk's gonna make quick work of that, and they're going to go up 1-0 early on in this game. Game four?
And yes, game four. And something to note, especially when you have a lot of chemistry with the players you play against, or you play with, excuse me. Those awkward plays can really favor the team with more experience because they kind of know the pitfalls of their teammates better and know how to avoid certain situations and get out of that. And because of that, it seemed like Venom was able to recover mentally a little bit quicker from the awkward bounces and regain their composure coming through and finding that shot already, while Snowstorm maybe was still a little bit bewildered by what was happening on the pitch.
Absolutely. I mean, whenever you're thrown into an uncomfortable situation, anytime one thing goes any excuse me, anytime something goes partially wrong, it just gets magnified by 1,000, and like you could have a double commit somewhere, and sometimes that's okay, but whenever everything's not going your way, like what's going on for Snowstorm right now, they're just in a bad spot.
Grab here looks for the double touch. Might have been on target if the defense was not there. But so far, Snowstorm only down one, still holding on. And Venom has looked a little bit more shaky as far as communication and rotations are concerned in this game compared to the previous two, but they still maintain that advantage. And it's up to Snowstorm to try to answer back. Here comes Local looking for the bounce, but kind of just hits it towards the defense. That one will be sent wide though, and a shaky touch from Venom will allow the offense to continue from Local, trying to get the pass down, gets it down to Kaysen, but Kaysen just not in a position where he can take a hard shot. The ball will be sent right back to the backboard of Snowstorm. Israel with a nice read, but he's gonna have to make another one, gets the clear. And we'll keep this one in. Kaysen there, makes the touch. Snowstorm holding on, if only just barely. But here comes Grab, looks for the double touch off the ceiling. Can't quite find it. Cram with a shot. And Snowstorm, I swear they've made something like 16 saves in the past 30 seconds.
I mean, only one has registered for them, but it feels like they were diving across their goal the whole time, making last-second saves. A really good defensive effort by Snowstorm, and almost a really good offensive effort on the other side of the field. But
His Local, oh, he almost had that shot. It was a tough angle to get on target, but could have kept the pressure. Instead, Venom will be coming back across and almost scoring because of it. The unlucky spawn from Snowstorm, and it seems this map has transposed in Forbidden Temple as we get another opportunity here. Milk just barely off the post. Grab with the follow-up. and Venom once again in a familiar position as they go up 2 goals.
And so me and you both had moments where we burst into laughter. So you know it's not us being unprofessional. But Venom 2-0 lead with 2 minutes left, and Snowstorm falling apart. And let's see if they can bounce back from this one.
You know, there's still so much potential and there's still so many possibilities, but Grav coming through here might be able to get the touch, won't quite. And still the lead remains at 2 goals. Snowstorm has to try to get one quickly here, though. They haven't been able to put up shot totals like they were in other matchups so far. And with only just a little bit over a minute going, they have to try to make this happen fast. I'm going to go high. Cram, local, might have an opportunity here, taking it to the sidewall, but taking a lot of time on the ceiling, hitting it center. And Israel, a little bit hesitant to commit, but does in the end. This ball will be bouncing center. Could be an opportunity for Snowstorm. That one's going to go clear, and Cram back just in time for the save. Snowstorm not able to work, and in fact, there's almost an open net on the other end of things. Kaysen dribbling this one out. And local trying to get a touch, looking for the pass across to Israel. Gets it down to him, but Azrael pushed up just a little bit too far. And now with 39 seconds left, it's still on Snowstorm, and they haven't really been able to put much together.
No, I mean, this Venom team is just looking too good, and Snowstorm so far haven't been able to overcome their difficulties with the they not being able to play.
So far they have not, but there's still a limited amount of time. They're going to get sent to the other end of the field, but Grav is going to be the one to pick it up, and surely he'll waste enough time here. Snowstorm will not be able to regain, and now Jaegers, Snowstorm in a position where they have to win 3 games in a row. This would be considered a reverse sweep in an ordinary match, so we can almost call it that, but in this one, best of 7, not quite a reverse sweep, but still so much work to be done for this Snowstorm roster.
Absolutely, and they have no more lifelines. Right now is either do or die for them, and just the way they've been playing, I don't know if they could do it merely.
Yeah, it seems like they just don't have the resources required. They don't have the time played or the experience with this roster. They're not communicating effectively, and they're just not putting these shots where they need to go. Just seems like a case of inaccuracy from Snowstorm. But, you know, the series is not over quite yet, and if we've learned anything, it's that anything can happen in Rocket League. If you guys watched RLCS yesterday, you surely know that. And if you haven't, I would highly recommend you go check out those series because they were of some incredible value. But Snowstorm here really going to have to rise up to the challenge. And realistically, I mean, is there any, tips? At this point, Snowstorm is just searching for any way that they can even try to take a game, Jaegers. And is there anything you can think of that could help them achieve that?
I mean, they need to go back to the bump plays. They've showed time and time again whenever they bump, they score, and they at that point they need to show that the moment isn't too big for them, and they just need to put their shots on target. Because at the end of the day, semifinals, finals, Rocket League's just a game. Boiled down to it, it's the same game. You hit the ball into the net. And sometimes you get overwhelmed, but you just need to remember, just place your shots, find your teammates, and it's game over.
Just hit the ball at the net. I couldn't have said it better myself. We'll see if Snowstorm can improve on their past couple games as we come through here, but that's not the play that is going to start us off. And Snowstorm, you can tell they are not feeling it right now. So unfortunate.
I mean, if it could just not be their day also merely, because I mean, they could have played yesterday, could have played tomorrow, could have been a different result, but today they just have not looked like the same team they played against Tigers in quarters.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, you can still see the moments of brilliance, and you can still see why that they've made it this far and why they are in the semifinals. But especially, I mean, I don't want to bag on him, but locally, some of these shots that he's been missing, I'm used to seeing him snipe those in the top corner, at least in the middle of the net, and he just doesn't seem to be able to get anything going here. The other
Oh,
members of
hold on.
Snowstorm as well, but this might be an opportunity as this one bent to the net, almost going to drop in front, and Local here will get the challenge. Cram perfectly positioned. Venom holding on to that 1-goal advantage for now, but Snowstorm trying to battle back. Smilk will dribble this one off to Cram. Cram following once again, but not able to get there. And Local
What
with
a
a huge
50.
dunk, and Snowstorm will find the equalizer. Local, you know, he's not playing any games. He's just going to go for that.
No, Local is in do or die mode less right now. And if you watch the Tigers game, Game 7, whenever they were down 0-3, it was Local that brought him back. I mean, it was a team effort, but Local scored the majority of the goals for Snowstorm in that game.
Absolutely, and we know that he does not want to go home. We know that he has the potential to clutch up, but will it be enough? 1-1 scoreline now, and Snowstorm, with just the ever so slightest bit of life, they have to try and build on this if they want to win 3 games in a row. Local sending this one off, going to bounce a bit awkwardly for the defense, and either Snowstorm can read it. Milk sending this one high. Ezreal forced to make a touch, and the follow-up will do well to send this one to the middle, and actually it will be Venom demoing, and Local going to spawn in on the attacking Venom player. A little bit unfortunate as this one drops down. Ezreal barely makes a save, and Cram's up for this, but Local will send it away. Trying to get another touch, gets it middle. No Snowstorm player there for the follow-up though. This one will be sent through. Kaysen looking for the double touch, but the first touch wasn't quite high or powerful enough. And, you know, so far, Snowstorm is holding on. It looks like they really do not want to go out here, Jaegers, and they're doing everything they can to stay in this game.
Absolutely. And if you look, oh, what a demo by Cram. Couldn't fake out the defense here, but wasn't meant to be. And Snowstorm playing at a much higher clip. And like I was saying, Venom still going for those double commits, and I mean it might work for them here, but they're not going to be able to match this in grand finals if they indeed make it.
Absolutely not. It's going to take much more for them to get that back-to-back championship win. We know they do have it in them, but so far it has been more than enough to take down Snowstorm, at least in the games they've played so far. This one will be sent middle. Milk there for the shot. Not quite able to find it. Ram will send it middle once again. Local trying to dribble, but first touch just a little bit too far away from his car, and tries to bump grab, forcing him to make a bit of an awkward touch. Ball will be lingering in the midfield, but this is a good sign for Snowstorm at least that the battle of midfield has been continued for this long, and no goals have been scored just yet, but Grav trying to change that, gets it through the pre-flip as Local forced to make an awkward touch away. Here comes Milk, hanging it off the backboard. Might be the follow-up there from Milk as well. He gets the touch, and it's just barely off the post. Kaysen makes the save, but it's not enough, and Venom, once again, the offense is just too much for Snowstorm to handle.
I will say this though, something we haven't talked about today is Kaysen is a defensive beast, and has really shown up whenever Snowstorm needed it. Just wasn't quite enough there. And let's see if Snowstorm has the bounce back potential here in order to get this goal with a minute counting down.
And at this point in the series, I mean, they cannot let another goal in. And as I say that, Cram going to come striking what very might well be the dagger to this Snowstorm roster. And, well, it's still not technically over, but, you know, it really feels like Venom has this one in the bag.
It really does. And after that game 2 loss by Snowstorm, it almost looks like the wind's knocked out of them. Hold on.
Wait a second.
Going to get a goal right here, and life is going to be breathed back into the Snowstorm unit.
And they barely are going to get a goal. Cram caught out of position there, cheating up a little bit more. And if there's one thing that Snowstorm can use to their advantage, one last trick, it's going to be the confidence from Venom. Or if it is, in fact, cockiness, then You know, they might be able
Oh,
to get through, but that 50 is going to be just good enough.
no.
Local almost forced to
Oh,
own goal. Instead, he'll pass to his teammate who owned goals, and Snowstorm, after just barely finding a little bit of substance, will immediately concede, and you have to feel like that's game.
no, most definitely. Even though there's time left on the clock, their mentals has to be absolutely destroyed at this point. Just because, like, I don't know, they're left in such a bad position there, and Venom just immediately capitalized on them.
They might get at least one more look at the net as Kaysen hits this one down. No attacker there to follow up, though. Azrael trying to get a touch to the corner. And Local will be there with a follow-up. But no shots will come out of it. Hold up. Might be one shot at least, but Cram with the dribble. Going to be effective. And Kaysen trying to make one last play happen. Gets the dribble. Can't get the flick, though. And surely that will be enough time wasted for Venom. They will be moving on to the grand finals. Not,
Yep.
not in the sense that they most likely won it, but you know they will be moving on to the grand finals regardless, and they will be playing the grand final matchup, looking to repeat that back to back. Meanwhile, Snowstorm, an unfortunate turn of events, but they will be sent home for this season after what we have to congratulate them on a fantastic playoff run so far. I mean, they really showed up, and even with this Azrael roster, they gave it their all, just weren't able to find it.
Absolutely. And that was a lot of pressure to throw in Azrael's hands, just being thrown in there at the last minute and having to play up to this level. But honestly, like, all congratulations to Venom, but you can't help wonder if it would be a different game if Fate had been there.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine it would have at least been a closer series. I mean, if it weren't for that disconnect in the first game, this looks like a Venom sweep. And
Absolutely.
that's just not something that Snowstorm, I think, was ever imagining when they woke up this morning ready to play in the semifinals. Truly, truly unfortunate, but these things happen. We've seen it happen. We saw it happen actually yesterday to Blaze with the disconnect.
Yeah.
And sometimes these things just can't be avoided. But regardless, Venom will be moving on in the playoffs to the grand finals. That is some excitement they get to look forward to. And if we could actually bring up the bracket here, we can see on the other side of things, we've got Orbit facing off against the Drakes. That matchup, I believe, will be happening on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, when we will find out who will be the other grand finalist. This Saturday, actually, it feels unreal for me to say that the grand finals are this Saturday, but it's all coming down to this. And regardless of how this first series went, a little bit unconventional, we've got a lot more playoff action coming through after this one. We're going to have 3 more games, starting off with the Hounds versus Frost. Should be a banger of a matchup. But thanks for casting this one with me, Jaegers. Thanks for taking my money. Appreciate it a lot.
Absolutely. And if you're ever offering again, I'll be happy to take your money again.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm sure you would be. But regardless, well played to both teams. Thanks for coming out, putting on performance to us. And if we don't have any shout outs, Austin, we do not have any shout outs at this moment. We will be taking a short break and we'll be right back for the second semifinal matchup of the night. You won't want to miss it as this is ramping up for grand finals. Get to see the finalists. And we'll be back right after this short break.
See ya.